Hi there, Cancers. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Astrogirl, and here's your forecast for September 29 through October 5. Amazing to think that we're into October. Already in the US, they've got the Thanksgiving decorations up. People have their Halloween decorations up. I can understand Halloween, but Thanksgiving is not until the end of November. So the year is moving way too quickly. And speaking of movement, we have Mercury going out of phase or retrograde this weekend in Scorpio, your fellow water sign in your fifth house of romance, creativity, and self-fulfillment. Definitely a time when you have to be prepared that there could be a little, more than a little, few hiccups with your romance. If you've just started dating somebody, as in the last 2 weeks, you may find that he or she disappears off the radar screen a little bit, or that you're not quite sure whether or not it's the right setup for you. There could be some doubts. He or she could say something or do something which normally wouldn't bother you, but this time it does, and that's because we've got the planets out of phase. So whatever it is that's going on, understand that there's always going to be an undercurrent of confusion and miscommunication. For example, if you say, I'll meet you at 7 o'clock on the corner of 3rd and Grand, they'll think that you said the corner of Grand and 3rd, which could be a completely different part of town or just the other end of the street, or they get the time mixed up. It's very Mercury retrograde. Murphy's Law, whatever can go wrong will go wrong, is in full effect. And it goes for those of you who have been married for 20 years as well. You pick up the dry cleaning means something else. You know, the iPhones do crazy things with the words these days. So just if you do feel as if, I better check that, I better make sure he's picking up the kids, I better make sure that he's doing that, or I better make sure that she knows that I'm doing it. You know, it's more work, but in the end less work, because you don't have to get so caught up in all the things that could go wrong. Venus, the goddess of love, shifts gears and moves into Libra, where she feels really safe and calm and puts a nice harmonious glow over things. It's really good for the fire and air signs. And with Mars in Sagittarius and Uranus in Aries, both having a little bit of a dust up later in the week, this is one of those weeks, especially this weekend, where a lot of you are going to want to stick close to home. You're not going to want to be around people you don't know, that you don't particularly enjoy their company, that you don't trust. Say, for example, your husband has a work due and wants you to go over the weekend. You may not really be digging it at all, and you might go and you might think, I didn't want to go, and look what happened, you know, because sometimes things that you aren't interested in, or that you don't like the people, or that things happen where you're like, what was that about, you know? So try and avoid anything social that you know you're not going to enjoy. Avoid it because you're not going to enjoy it. It's really your right. I think too often as partners, we try to do things to please and appease, and sometimes you just got to bring it back, full circle back to you. I don't want to go. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will speak to you again next week, Cancerians.